my God, guys. Jay White has officially not debuted, but made a return to AEW Dynamite. Oh my goodness. You know, one of the hottest free agents um, within the past several months. There were rumors that WWE had high interest in him. He had two matches in New Japan that he lost, where if he lost the match, he had to exit from New Japan. So based off that, normally when wrestlers have that type of match, it usually means they're going to WWE. But that was not the case for Jay White, uh, and a very unique way to kick off the show, as we thought it was going to be Juice Robinson versus Ricky Starks. Um, the Bullet Club music played only for it to play Jay White's music, and out comes Jay White. Wow. I don't think, and the crowd was really into this. I feel like Jay White actually got a better reaction this time around than when he appeared in AEW the first time when he did it backstage. But what a way that they did this! I mean, we didn't get the match with Rick Stocks and Juice Robinson, but if this is going to lead to a match with Rick Stocks and uh, and Jay White, I'm all for it. Or wherever this is going with this. Um, so man, this was definitely a very interesting way for him to come back. I mean, we all thought, well, it was never really confirmed he was going to go to WWE, but that was something that he was weighing out his options. And honestly, considering what's happening with them at this moment, this was probably the best decision that he could have made, was to go back to AEW. Although I do wonder if he was going to come to AEW, then it kind of begs the question of why he would have a loser leave New Japan match, because AEW affiliation with New Japan, unless he just don't come back, unless this time around he's with AEW, but he doesn't go back to New Japan, and instead he wrestles in Ring of Honor, which Tony Khan owns both now, and maybe some other promotions outside of New Japan. Um, there's always a possibility that he could do that because they have partnerships with more than just New Japan. There's several other companies that they have partnerships with as well. So the AAA is just one of them, to name a few. But what a way for him to come back, guys. I mean, this even kind of had me surprised. It was a very interesting way to kick off Dynamite, and a really good show. Um, you know, you had FTR win the AEW Tag Championships from, which you kind of figured that was going to happen, especially with them putting their, uh, careers on the line, basically saying if they lost the belts, they would leave AEW. And, for a while there were rumors that they were going to leave, they were maybe going to sign back with WWE, but nope. Uh, Pretty sure they've already signed a new deal with the company by this point. So you had that whole thing going on. They finally got their retribution on the Guns. Uh, After losing to them in their final match, and as Tony Giovanni and them mentioned in commentary, they had lost all their championships that they had. They lost to the Briscoes. Sadly, the Briscoes' final match last year in the dog collar match, they lost that match to the Briscoes. That was actually at Final Battle, um, when they had that match and dropped the belts to the Briscoes, the ROH championships. They dropped uh, um, their other tag belts that they had. I believe the other ones was NWA. They had like 3 different belts, and it was like they just dropped them one by one, all except the AEW Tag Championships. And it was about time they won it back. This time they got to win it in front of a larger arena. Last time they won the belts was at All Out 2020 when they beat Kenny Omega and Heyman pays for it. So that was definitely a big moment for them tonight. You saw the bullet. You saw the BCC, um, attack, uh, beat some jobbers, and then, you know, said that Brian Dennison got on the mic and he said nobody was any wrestlers and that he loved all of them. And, Heyman tried to come out and defend himself. There was no Kenny, of course. The Young Bucks still selling from their attack, and I think Matt Jackson is actually injured, so he's also recovering from that as well. So nobody came out to help Hangman, and he just got beat down, by the BCC. So I think we're definitely going to see a match with the four of them in the BCC at Double or Nothing. It's definitely going to head that direction. In some shape or form, he's going to reunite with Kenny Omega. I can definitely see that happening. It all depends on how long it might take the Young Bucks to get back, back out there. It seems like they're going that direction, especially with the Dark Order being taken out. You had the MJF Day segment, which was very interesting. We played the music and and the crowd, of course, was all MJF because he was in his hometown, Long Island, New York, and you had Jungle Boy in the Skies, one of the symbol players, only to attack him and got booed, and they beat each other down. And but excitement lasted for a while. He played some music with the band and stuff. He was singing with them, and told a story about when he was a kid, about how a teacher basically made fun of him because of his disability or whatnot, because he couldn't answer the same question she would ask him all the time, and how even at that age he said that his mind was focused on professional wrestling. So you had that whole thing, but Sammy Javar after that came out and beat Commander. That he cut a promo on MJF about their the match they had against each other in Jacksonville. He had him beat, then he cheated to win. He's had everything handed to him to get into this four pillar stuff. So a lot of good segments here on the show. Um, you know, I don't think you had any. You had the segment with the women backstage, but I think you had any of them actually wrestling tonight. Unless I just missed it. No, I don't think you did. So you just had. Oh wait, I'll take that back. What am I talking about? All right, Jamie Hayter. I'm tired, guys. Sorry. Jamie Hayter had a really good match with Rio, defending her AEW Women's Championship. It was a really good match. So you still got that whole thing with the originators, the originals, and the outsiders, which is why they call themselves the Outcast. So that was a really good match right there. So yeah, really good show. Jericho seems like he's going to have a little program with Keith Lee next week, but I really just want to come on here, talk about Jay White, while briefly mentioning all those other things. It's great to see that he's back with AEW, and I'm looking forward to see what he does from here. I think I'm not even sure if he was signed the first couple of appearances he made with AEW. I don't think he was signed. I just think he was just there, kind of like Juice Robinson at first. He was just there, but he wasn't signed, because the whole reason he appeared last year was because that was around the time of Forbidden Door, and that's when they did that Fatal 4-Way. And ultimately, that was when Adam Cole got injured, got the concussion and stuff during that match. And Jay White had retained his, I think he was IWGB champ at that time. And he had put it on the line. It was like a Fatal 4-Way. So that was like the last appearance he really had at AEW. So now he's actually all elite. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. And yeah, we'll just see what happens from there. So sign off for Mr. Flex. So like, comment, subscribe. Talk to you guys later. Peace.